Hi, I'm Tiffany Domino. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my website is howtoentrepreneur.org, and my mission is to help you grow a business from idea to enterprise. So if you or someone you know wants to start or grow a business, definitely stop by howtoentrepreneur.org and check out my free course. It's a framework to help you grow a business from idea to full-time income and from full-time income to enterprise if that's how far you want to go. So today I want to talk to you about 8 business leadership styles and effectively leading productive teams. So if you're in business, in a leadership position, or you're seeking a leadership position, it's important to choose an effective approach that creates results with your team. So here we'll be discussing 8 business leadership styles and how to use them to effectively lead productive teams. So for startup entrepreneurs, learning leadership could be the difference between scaling an enterprise or being stuck in the infancy or adolescent business growth stages that we talked about in the last video. So the truth is, whether you're an entrepreneur, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, or whether you hold a leadership position at work, you're a leader. You may lead from the front or from behind, individually or by voting. There's so many ways that you can lead, but what's your most prominent leadership style? And is your most prominent leadership style giving you the result of leading a productive team? So your experience helps with, or your experience can cause you to lean towards one business leadership style versus another. So let's talk a little bit about the influence of your experience. So you may have worked in more than one organization and seen different leadership styles. Some leaders are very in your face, while others may be difficult to find. Seeing different leadership styles can make it difficult to decide your approach when it's your turn. Often, we don't take the time to think about when we're leading and how we're leading. We just let the events naturally flow. But when we're having major challenges like with our kids following our directions, getting along with our spouse, or getting our team to be productive on the job, then we begin looking for solutions. We may consider parenting books, marriage books, or business books, but it's funny how much of the solution can be in simply learning different leadership styles and how to use them effectively. So some common questions about leadership. Once you decide to learn how to lead, oftentimes we find ourselves asking which leadership style is most effective. What different leadership styles are there? Which leadership style is compatible to my personality? Or which leadership style am I capable of doing long term and enjoying? These are all really good questions, and most people want to be good at what they do, leadership included. So kudos for doing the additional research and being here watching this video to learn to become a better and more effective leader. You're definitely on the right path. While there are many different leadership styles, there is a general understanding of the definition of a leader. So let's start by talking about the definition of a leader. So when you Google the definition of a leader, 466 million results populate. Many people have lots to say about what it means to be a leader. Some say leadership should be the star of the team, and some say leadership is seen by empowering others. You can lead by getting hired into a position, but the most effective leadership is earned. While there are multiple different roles a leader can play, leadership is not related to seniority, rank, pay grade, higher position, or titles. You won't necessarily be effective by having a title. Leadership is an earned authority to influence others towards a goal or a series of goals. Or, as Brian Tracy says, leadership is getting ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary results. So, in his book, 5 Levels of Leadership, John Maxwell talks about different earned levels of leadership. And you want to be mindful about the different levels of leadership, because you want to choose a leadership style or integration of different leadership styles that effectively takes you from level 1 to level 5. So let me explain what I mean by that. With level 1, you're in position leadership. So in position leadership, people follow because they're required to. They may be required to because you're the hired boss, because you are the parent, or because you have something that they want. Level 1 leadership can be observed because there's no loyalty. People are packing their bags to leave on time. They don't want to give any more than what's required because you haven't earned their loyalty through relationship. So that's level 1 leadership, but you really don't want to stay there. You want to move on into level 2, where you get into permission level leadership. So in level 2 leadership is where people follow by choice. Relationships are being established and loyalty is setting in. You can ask for favors and people will respond out of loyalty without a direct incentive because trust is being established. But then you move up from there into level 3, production level leadership. So in level 3 leadership, you know how to lead people to get things done. People follow you because of the relationship, but on top of the relationship, you have a great track record of productivity. You model what they want to see. So they follow you because they believe you can lead them to get results. In addition to level 1 and level 2 leadership, you've added the ability to positively impact the company by getting results, and you've become a change agent to the people. So that's really powerful as well. So in level 3, you've actually evolved yourself. You're getting signs that other people want to produce. And so they're not only following you because of your position, they're also following you because of loyalty, because you're starting to build those relationships. And they're also following you because you're getting results and they want to learn from you and see how to get those same results in their lives. Then you have you can go from level 3 to level 4, and that's the people development level. And in the people development stage, you're developing leaders. You've stacked levels 1, 2, and 3 and are adding on to your productivity by reproducing your results as a leader. You're teaching others to build successful and productive teams. So as a warning, John Maxwell says 80% of your success developing people is in the front door. In other words, in order to have great results developing people, you have to choose the right people, put them in the right position, and guide them to their greatest potential. So that's level 4. And then level 5 is when you've been accomplishing levels 1 through 4 for the long haul, and you've earned a reputation as a leader. People may know your niche, but separate from your niche and industry, people can see your character, your accomplishments individually and in the lives of others. And as a result, you have a distinct brand as a leader. At level 5, leadership has become a legacy. So, ideally, you want to be able to go from level 1 all the way through to level 5. And these business leadership styles can help you to get there by choosing which style is appropriate at what time. So with the levels of leadership in mind, you want to choose the timing to use each of the different leadership styles to build from level 1 through to level 5 leadership experiences. These are the top recognized leadership styles and a brief explanation of each of them. Number 1 is the autocratic leadership style. Autocratic leaders make decisions without consulting their team. Leaders of this type make decisions solely based on their judgment without accepting much advice. While it's good to make decisive decisions quickly, when there's a monopoly of autocratic leadership style, it can be demoralizing to the team and can lead to a high turnover. Number 2, you have transformational. James McGregor Burns introduced the concept of transformational leadership in 1978 in his book called Leadership. He said transformational leadership is where leaders and their followers raise one another to higher levels of morality and motivation. After Burns, Bernard Bass further developed the transformational leadership model by adding specific guidelines in his book, Leadership and Performance Beyond Expectations. He said transformational leaders are models of integrity and fairness. They set clear goals. They have high expectations. They encourage others. They provide support and recognition. They stir the emotions of people. They get people to look beyond their self-interest. They inspire people to reach for the improbable. So that's transformational leadership. Number 3, you have democratic leadership. Democratic leaders accept the input from the team. They vote on decisions rather than one central person making decisions. Some democratic shared leadership or participative leadership. And this can be good in some situations. It's not good to always have democratic leadership for every decision. And you can see that in the U.S., how we have things that we vote on and we have things that we put leaders in place to make decisions for. Democratic leadership isn't quick, so if there's like an emergency or something that needs to go on and you're trying to get all these votes together, it's harder to make change happen quickly if you need to. Number 4, you have laissez-faire leadership. These type of leaders are those who delegate the work and provide little accountability and very little guidance. Laissez-faire leadership has pros and cons. If the skill level and character of the person the work is delegated to is superior, then laissez-faire can work. However, there are many stories of laissez-faire leaders who have delegated to the wrong people and gotten very poor results. This leadership arrangement doesn't work for all teams. So we talked about in the previous video about the growth stages where many entrepreneurs get stuck. We talked about how in the adolescent phase they try to hand off work that they don't want to do, that they dislike, and we called that abdicating. Abdicating is when they hand off the responsibility to an employee and they don't provide oversight or training or any accountability, or not enough accountability. So that same thing can be called laissez-faire. It can work in some situations, but it's not as common to work in it across the board. So yeah. So it's good probably over time after the relationship is built and the person's been trained and their character has been assessed and you really have a good grip and harmony within the organization. It's possible to turn into more of a laissez-faire relationship, but this probably isn't the best place to start for most hiring situations. So number 5, you have bureaucratic leadership. Bureaucratic leadership is characterized by rules and guidelines being used as the basis for instruction. Governments and large organizations typically use bureaucratic leadership to give direction to many people and to lead fairly without specific loopholes based on personal preference. So if you decide you want to really grow your organization, then you have to have rules that govern the activities within, the standards within, possibly even uniform codes and so many other things to make sure that there's standardization and there's quality across the board. So you'll find large organizations who use this form of leadership. Then you have number 6, charismatic leadership. Charismatic leaders emphasize their personalities. Charisma alone doesn't make a good leader. It can build a lot of hype. It can build a lot of engagement. It can be entertaining, but it's not connected with character. And character builds a longer attention span. So leaders that overemphasize loyalty because of their personality really struggle to lead teams, while leaders who tie charisma with other traits can be very good leaders. Number 7, you have transactional leadership. A transactional leader provides supervision, evaluates performance, and sets goals. They're consistent with providing rewards for good and punishment for bad. Team members who are self-motivated may find transactional leadership to be micromanaging. Number 8, you have servant leadership. And this is actually my favorite leadership style. This leadership style is characterized by the leader placing emphasis on serving the needs of the team rather than the team serving the leader. Servant leaders believe in empowering and uplifting each member of the team for optimal performance and focus their attention on identifying ways to serve the team so they can operate optimally. So, as far as how to develop different business leadership styles, to develop the different business leadership styles, you have to identify, number 1, your strengths and your weaknesses. Maybe you're a very good team player and you work best in democratic situations. You'll need to identify that, but also identify that you don't work well in autocratic situations. There will be times where you'll have to make quick autonomous decisions without collaboration, and you'll need to identify opportunities to practice developing the skills that you don't have. Number 2, a go-to strategy that exploits your strengths. You'll have to identify this. When you know your strengths, you can choose what teams you work best leading. For example, a laissez-faire leader works best with an expert team that needs minimal direction to get the job done. While they are developing other leadership styles, it may not be best to place them in a team with all newbies. Instead, exploit your strengths and take advantage of short stint opportunities to develop other styles. Number 3, continual learning. You'll need to see examples of other leadership styles, read books that challenge you to practice other leadership approaches, and network with leaders who are stronger in approaches that you may not be. Learning will be mandatory to your process as a leader, in addition to learning from those who can grow you due to your experience or expertise. You'll also need to be open to listening to the feedback of those you're leading and observing the effectiveness you're having with achieving movement towards the vision. And number 4, a strategy to practice improving your weak areas. Finally, to expand your leadership into different styles, you'll need a strategy to grow your weak areas. Maybe you can trade with another work section periodically, volunteer in an organization like a church, a community center, or some other place with a leader whose style is different than yours, or try different approaches at home with your spouse and with your kids. The key is to practice, and you really want to practice, and practice some more, so that you can really develop yourself as a leader. You can develop different leadership styles so that you can work with more people and be effective. So putting the different leadership styles and leadership levels in practice. Once you've learned some things about yourself, you can identify good positions for yourself and your team from the vantage point of a leader. You'll be able to identify people you would work well with versus those you may not. The ability to observe ideal situations and set teams up for success, in addition to modifying your leadership style and working your way through the levels, will set you apart. So I have some recommended reading. These are all articles that are here at How to Entrepreneur, and it's meant to inspire you with the mindset that you need to influence and lead in a positive way. So I have John Maxwell biography and quotes here. I have Jim Rohn's biography and quotes. I have Michael Hyatt's bio in quotes, Zig Ziglar, and Tony Robbins, and most of these also includes a video, so we can walk through it together and talk about these different leadership quotes and these different leaders that are in the forefront of the leadership industry right now. So as far as some final words on different business leadership styles, the goal of this video was to show you 8 different leadership styles and how they can be used to effectively lead productive teams. This information can really help you grow a massive company if it's used properly, and I hope you take this and act on it. If you have questions or concerns about this, definitely leave them in the comment section below. You can also stop by How to Entrepreneur and leave them here on the blog post. I'd love to help you out. So if you're interested in starting or growing a business, check out my free e-course. It's a framework to help you grow your business from idea to full-time income and from full-time income to enterprise, if that's how far you want to go. So now I want to talk to you and get your feedback from everything we've discussed. Now that you've heard the different leadership styles, what's your leadership style? Have you worked to develop other leadership styles? Why or why not? Leave your comments, questions, and feedback below. I look forward to hearing from you. That's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more like it, then subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon for upcoming videos or notifications of upcoming videos. So I do videos, product and service reviews, buyer's guides, as well as these type of growth strategy videos to help you grow your business from idea to enterprise. So I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you around. I hope to see you in the next video. And that's all I have for this one. Have a great day. Bye.